right, my name is my real name is Ronald Reed. I'm a comedian. That's what I do for a living. Comedian, actor, writer, such stuff like that. My stage name is Comedian Double R. I'm on Facebook as Ronald Reed, so you can add me. You know, people do that.
Okay, Facebook. And you're originally from what city?
Detroit, east side of Detroit,
Michigan.
born and
Deep.
raised.
So how's the comic life treating you out in Detroit?
Well, it got its ups and its downs, you know. And I'm gonna be very blunt, but I'm gonna be clean about it. Like, you get booked on a lot of shows, right? You go to a show, probably 200 people in the audience. They didn't sold tickets in advance. You supposed to get X amount of dollars.
Right.
You know, you went on stage, you did your 20 minutes. You ready to come off stage, and then the booker like, let me holler at you. And at that point, you know, like, what you mean, let me holler at you?
Right.
I can't pay you the next week.
Oh man.
And then you got to chase them down, try to get your money and stuff like that. And then for the horror stories, it's like the bar rooms you got to do. Because when you're doing bar rooms, you basically trying to force comedy on somebody.
Right.
It's like, can you imagine going in a club, they watching it, like right now it's football season. So it's horrible trying to do comedy right now because everybody into the game.
Right.
And you trying to do comedy, they look up like, really? Like, I'm just about to ignore you.
Right.
Versus you go to a comedy club, the show started at 8 o'clock, the room is sold out by 7:59.
Right.
Versus doing the bar room, it don't get packed to 12 at night.
Right. So what percentage of your shows do you think have turned out like that, like a bar room compared to a great show that you just felt really good about?
Okay, I can't be wrong. I get some good bar rooms though. You get some good, but most of them is nightmares.
Right.
Like a good room we do locally every weekend is Lucky's, like right out 12 Mile and Telegraph, that area at the Star, Lucky 730. That room go out pretty good because, you know, Fridays they got like the ballroom classes, and then like the Fridays is the best show because you get the older, more mature crowd.
Okay.
Cause they do like the back jam, you know, they play like the old school and stuff. And then you get the Saturday show, and that's when like WGLB is there, and it's like that's when you get the hecklers. But it still be a good show because the environment is in the theater. You know, people come in there just for comedy.
I was gonna ask you about that. Yeah, heckling. I was gonna ask you, do you get heckled a lot? Because last comedy show I was at, it was a heckler in there or whatever, and the comic was on stage. He's like, everybody's a comedian. The dude was in the crowd. He's like, not you. So is that like,
you get a lot of hecklers because a lot of people can't deal with they not being the main attention. Like, why I gotta shut up and listen to you? And then with the bar rooms, you get some pretty good hecklers at that too, because they will go hard. Like, it's like no holds bars. Like, if me for example, I get it like this one room I do called Black Brace. I always get some drunk girl, you know, in there messing with me all the time. And the thing is, like, if you let them slide with it, they ain't gonna shut up until you shut them up.
Right.
Especially if they said something funny, they gonna keep going and going. So as a comedian, you got to know how to shut them up and go back with your set. But sometimes they did change the show around. Nah, it's just you roasting them. That's mostly how the bar rooms go down.
Right, okay. So you just pick on a bunch of drunks.
You ain't picking on. They even started with you. You went up. You said about 4 good jokes for the people that's listening. They loved it. And then you just get one person up there, like they love to boo you.
Okay.
Like this, like I said, like Blackberry. It's like I call it the comedy dojo. It's the guy that hosts his name Popcorn. He's like, well, coming to the stage next, boo. You ain't even.
Right.
You don't even know who you are. I didn't think about it. It's like we this close. You could look them right in the face, and they would be right there. Like, I can see you. Yeah,
so what is some of the worst heckling can you remember? Like somebody really got you, you felt that you got done.
Oh man.
Can you remember any of it?
Yeah, this weekly. You go to this weekly. I'm just trying to keep it clean. We can go through this weekly. You get some crazy stuff. Like, I remember one time I was on stage, and this girl tried to get me. She was like, oh, that little skinny dude, he don't got no shoulders. It was at this bar called Maddie's. And she wasn't like a little chick. I was like, and it was kind of funny, though. I was like, wow, she's like, I don't got no shoulders. It was like, wow. I was like, but see, then you got the creative mind got to come in. I'm just thinking, like, she just mad because she ain't my weight. That's all.
No,
she hit it right back. Like, ooh, that's right back.
So like, I never knew this aspect of comedy. See, it's a lot that comics got to deal with. That's real. How do you stay funny and be dealing with all that stress? It's not stressful to you at all?
I mean, when you first starting off, but I deal with this on a daily basis, though. To the point I can't say I'm immune to it, because like a lot of shows, I get mad when I gotta roast somebody. You know, I'm actually trying to do this material. You know, because like you go out to like Joey's, Mark Riley's, you know, you come out there, you get on somebody in the audience like that, they gonna get offended and make a complaint. You know. So that's the difference between doing the bar rooms, no matter if it's urban, suburban, wherever. Comedy clubs, you can't do that. You can't go in there and like get somebody out the audience. They gonna be like, hey, they gonna get mad.
Right. Okay. So like, What is the biggest venue you ever performed at?
The biggest venue out of doing comedy, a lot of places. His name is Randall showing us got Punk trying to do Last Comic Standing. Just yucks in Toronto. That was a big waste of time.
It was a waste of time.
Yeah, they already knew who they wanted for the show. It was like I was number 7 in line. I was there February 14th.
Right.
On Valentine's Day. That's what I did.
Right.
Stood outside all night for nothing.
Wow. So, I mean, a lot of your friends probably know you're a comic, right?
Yeah.
And so do they always tell you, say something funny, tell me something funny? Do you ever get that?
Well, you get that a lot. Like people like, okay, you a comedian, say something funny.
Right.
And it's crazy too because like in that environment, it don't really work off like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they be like, oh, just say something funny off top. But then again, if you out in public, you know, you can tell the comedian. Like for example, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was in Kmart's, right? Mm-hmm. This lady, her total wasn't even like $25, right? It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm at the Super Kmart, right? Right. She pulled out 3 credit cards, all of them declined. And I mean, you've been in line. You've seen people go through multiple credit cards. I'm like, it's only $25. You don't got $25 in cash.
Right.
Like, are you serious?
Right.
Like,
right. Okay. So, like, do you have any upcoming shows you're gonna be performing?
Joey's. I'm out there. I'm emceeing at Joey's November 3rd through 6th. Mm-hmm. That's next month. And this weekend I'll be out at Lucky's. I'll be out at Lucky's.
So what do you plan on doing? I mean, as far as this comedy, are you planning on doing stand-up for the rest of your life? Do you plan on getting acting or TV or anything like that?
Comedy is like what you do in your idle time when you ain't doing much. The main thing is you want to get credits, you want to get SAG, you want to be an actor. Mm-hmm. That's the main. That's what you're trying
to
go for.
SAG is the
Screen Actor Guild. Yeah, you get into that, you got to get you get 3 credits, and then you can apply for SAG, and it's different. Like right now, I do extra work for like 187. I did a couple times for Detroit 187. This show they shoot in Detroit. Okay. But they only pay minimum wage, like $7.40 an hour. You get long hours though. Right. And it's easy work. So most of the time you sitting there just talking, you probably only on set an hour, but you get paid for 14 hours how long you was there, even if you working or not. Right. So it's pretty cool. But then again, if you was SAG, you be making like $23 an hour because you SAG.
Oh wow.
And that's different. Wow. Like when you SAG, you get auditions. It's like, okay, we filming this commercial. We got you 7 people. One of y'all is gonna get the commercial, out of one of y'all. It ain't like, oh, it's a cattle call. 20 people come in, we only need 1 person. You didn't waste your time.
So what? So let's backtrack a little bit. So like for somebody that's really serious in the comedy, like you, I see that you are. What would be their steps to get a SAG, the Screen Artists Guild? What would they have to do? Okay,
well you gotta get 3 credits first. It's a lot of like Michigan Talent Bank. So it's a lot of websites in Michigan. There's a lot of filming going on in Michigan. It usually don't pay, but it's a credit. All you want to do is get a screen credit, so you can join SAG. And then like radio, you'd be an ATRA. It'd be a different unit you would join for that. But the best thing that you can do, I'm gonna tell you the quickest way to go through it is go to a club and have the booker, like a well-known booker at the actual comedy club, like Funny Business is a popular one, John Yoder. He does book shows all across the Midwest and stuff into the club. If you want to get an agent, if you get an agent, you're good. Right. Because you can work at clubs every weekend. They pay for your room and stuff like that. Wow,
that sounds like a good little thing right there. How did you even get into comedy in the first place?
I wanted to do comedy for a while, but what made me get into it back in the day, I went to Coco's House of Comedy. And I used to always watch BET. I don't know if you ever watch BET. I used to watch that all the time. Right. And I seen one of the comics on there. I'm like, okay, my sister gave me these tickets to go to this comedy show. I'm like, yeah, I ain't never been to a lot of comedy shows. I'm like, all right, I want to go. And I'm going to go. And it was one of the comics we seen the night before was there. Right. So that's what made me, get up and go do it. Like, okay, I need to start this. So I started by doing like open mics, which started off horrible.
You say you start off horrible?
Yes.
Okay, see, that's something I couldn't do. Like, I'd be scared to be a comic and just jump on stage. I don't even know how I could even think. Do you ever memorize your lines, or do you just go with it, improv? What do you do?
I got some stuff I want to memorize, but it's like most of the time I write down the jokes, okay, like this stuff I want to do, and then the vibe you get from the audience, you do like totally different jokes. Like, I did not say none of this.
Right.
It works out like that. Then again, you can have some jokes and go up, get no laughs, just some stares, just like wow. And you can take them same jokes, go to another room, and be the funniest stuff ever.
So how do you respond to just people just sitting there looking at you? You just keep doing your thing and act like you're funny, or what?
Yeah, that's worse than getting booed. If somebody just to stare at you, because if they boo you, at least they communicate. But I mean, if they're just like looking at you like you killed the Kennedys, like, It's horrible. That's the worst. Silence is worse than getting booed. So getting booed, I mean, you can be funny as ever and still get booed. I mean, people gonna do that just because they can do it.
Do you do anything besides comedy right now?
Well, there's been stocks that ain't working out too good.
Stocks?
Up and
Oh
down.
man, I tried. Man, I lost so much money in stocks. That Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, I bought a whole bunch of that and turned around, looked at my stock, it was all gone.
The Dow went up 200 points. I wish I would have had money in that. That'd have been good for one day.
Right, one day you got to hit and miss. So, like as far as like you said, you got a show coming up and you got the Facebook. You got any other websites, anything that?
I got like 1 million friends on MySpace, but I hardly who's on MySpace anymore.
Right,
I got a MySpace.
It's a ghost town now.
Yeah, it's like it didn't die and stuff on YouTube. It's hilarious.
Okay, so say your Facebook one more time so everybody.
Oh, my Facebook is on Ronald Reed, and I got a show I put on YouTube. It's called The Hendersons, and my page is RTR Comedy.
And what is that about, this show?
My drunk family, uncut, unscripted.
Like you film your family?
Yes, we talk about people get up 8 o'clock in the morning drinking 40. And it's not scripted. See, the whole thing would make it so good. It's not scripted. It's just totally like random clip. Like each show I put on there, like the funniest one on there is the Cable Box Smackdown. Okay. And that's the day when we had the digital conversion that everybody had. Yeah, they had to have a cable box or a converter box, or your TV wasn't working, and they only had like one converter box, actually cable box, and they was fighting over it. That was hilarious.
So what's that on YouTube? They can find that.
That's on. It's under RTR Comedy, and the title of it's called the Cable Box Smackdown.
Cable Box Smackdown.
Yeah, they just fighting over the cable box.
So I know we're gonna be probably hearing a lot from you in the future, and probably try to follow your career, follow YouTube and stuff like that. Hopefully everything works out. We're gonna wrap this segment up here in a minute. Anything else?
Me just being like, I want certain things for myself,
the hardest thing about comedy, like, I always thought, like, if you got good work ethics, your material strong, that'll make you far in comedy. And really, like any other
relationship, like that's just
politics,
so complicated, and like having
like
to
a lot
deal
of
with
the
somebody
best shows
else's
like that,
emotions. This is just a good example of like
life. You know
something
who
I
I was,
just
is that
wouldn't
somebody about
be
something.
willing
Hey,
to
put
deal
such
with
and such
for
on
quite some time.
Politics, that's the main thing you got to factor in, politics.
So politics, that seems to be like a theme on a lot of my lady shows right now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap this segment up, shoot a break, and we're gonna come right back.
You said a lot, but you ain't
right here
saying
in San
anything.
I can't say it's good. I just rather do my own fucking shit and just get everything on my own. Until she's ready.
I'm a big believer in the power of we. We can tackle the tough challenges we face and build community through service and volunteering. The reality is, we're all in this together. It's time for you to raise your hand. Go to serve.gov and get involved in something you believe in. Are you with me?
Like, could you imagine this? I was a guy, right? And I said, I want to get sex. Girls have sex. I want to get sex from them. But you know what? I refuse to change. I'm going to stay fat. I'm going to stay smoking pot. I'm going to stay.
Okay, so we talked in the first half. If anybody missed the first half of the show, we was talking about you as a comic, some of the things that you experienced being a comedian, like the heckling and things like that, and things of that nature. And now we're gonna pick back up. Actually, you said you had a show too. What is that show?
I'm emceeing out at Joey's Comedy Club in Livonia. That's November 3rd through 6th.
Do you frequent that club?
Yeah, I was there. I was there like every open mic for like 2 years. Then I kind of fell back. Now I'm starting going back through there. Yeah, I've been to Joey's a lot. That's probably the actual comedy club I performed at the most out of all clubs.
So let's talk about what inspires you to really write your comedy.
Where I get man, living on the east side.
The east side.
I don't even know what I want to say on camera. I watch what I say. Oh, wow. You just see some of the craziest stuff. Like, I got this dude on video. He was riding, like, a 10-speed that had a car steering wheel on it, a radio, a glass top with a windshield wiper. I'm not making this up. I got this on video. Going down the opposite way, I'm doing right now myself. I'm doing a documentary about Detroit, about, like, the urban farming and stuff like that. And random stuff I catch on video.
Right.
And then I followed him. He went to AutoZone. I'm like, what is he doing?
Wow.
I actually got that on videos on my
So
documentary.
he took his bike to AutoZone? Like he really
It was like he made it into a car, like a car seat on. I mean, seriously, I'm not making this up. I cannot make this up. And I'm just like, okay, he's gonna do that. Going the opposite way down traffic. This stuff you like never see like this. What is on their mind?
Right. I mean, so you find a lot of comedy in life, huh?
Oh, yeah, ain't nothing funnier than real life stuff. Nothing funnier, because everybody can laugh. And some people won't laugh at it, but everybody can laugh when you just see real life stuff.
And then you say,
And
I
just
don't
like,
like that.
what's your
I
opinion?
don't want that.
Like
I want
the
that
news,
guy.
like it's so petty, like
Okay,
sun
well, you
chips,
gotta
right?
change if you want that
They
guy.
coming
You
out,
refuse to
they got a
change.
new
That's
bag
the
out for the
point
sun
to
chip that's
me.
biodegradable,
Saying
won't sit out
being
in
a fat
landfills
loser,
for years and
saying
stuff,
I
right?
deserve it back.
And they got so many complaints about people complaining about how noisy the bag is.
Right.
5 of they 6 flavors, except for the original sun chips, they put back in a regular bag that is sitting in landfill for years and stuff like that. I'm just thinking, who complains about that? You got a family-sized bag of sun chips, and you complaining because the bag is too noisy?
Now, see, now that's funny, but I'm trying to figure out how did you even know that information? Is what
Watching the
I
news, because you get all the stuff off the news, because people so dramatic, so many fake people on the news, like so much stuff happened. Like last night, sent on the news, this guy accidentally shot his daughter in the wrist. He had to rush her to the Mount Clemens Hospital or whatever. I was like, wow, that's bad. Now, you know the news, they always try to go get the neighbors and things. The first thing I say, I knew something was going on over there.
Right.
Oh my God, I just couldn't imagine this happening over there. They always got stuff. There's always that one person, like they deliberately look for this person to say that everything. And then like the lady that they thought she poisoned her husband. Her husband's a lawyer. I think he worked for Pfizer or whatever. He died, and the dog died in the same day.
Wow.
And they arrested her saying she poisoned him. You go to the news, always got any videos. Oh, they was always arguing, fighting. I knew something was going on. I'm like, who is these people? They always want
to. Have you ever had anybody like in your family or your friends say, comedy is a waste of time? Why are you doing comedy?
I mean, at some point, it is like, sometimes, not saying all the time, but sometimes it is a waste of time. Like, you already know you're going to come to this room, people ain't going to listen. I don't care if you had Chappelle up there or Jalen, it doesn't really matter who's up there. You're not going to listen, you're not getting paid, you done drove 30 minutes there. Like, sometimes it is pretty much a waste of time. It's like a slap in the face. It's like, why do you keep doing it? So you get that sometimes. Some rooms is like that. I mean, you need to go out and get experience and stuff, but you only need so much experience. I mean, how many times you need to do the first grade over and over? You know?
Right.
It's really like, okay, hey.
So name some of your favorite comedians.
Okay, funny. It's a lot of people. Obviously, you're going to high level, like names that's known, like Mike Epps. He's gonna be here pretty soon. Just see him perform live a couple times. He coming down to Hard Rock downtown Detroit. He came through. Mike Epps. Cat Williams is funny. And then you got like local comedians. Like the top 3 you hear is like Coco, Kool-Aid, you know, them the names that's on Kool-Aid that come up like local. But there's a lot of local people here that's funny. It's it's hilarious.
I did a show with funny.
Up at the pineapple, the Palm Tree Lounge or something.
Purple Moon is when we did it.
Purple Moon, yeah.
Yeah, well, that dude, he's nasty, but he was funny. He was going after everybody too.
Yeah. And then some people get offended about stuff, like really. Like a lot of comedians got like different varieties of the joke, but they always talk about the Bernstein, the sound Bernstein kids. And this one time we was at Joey's, and this guy named Bob Phillips did a joke about the Bernstein. Like I know a bunch of comedians that got jokes about the Bernstein kids, like cross-eyed and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, you're so wrong for talking about them like that. And he got mad because he's like, I'm off stage, I really don't care. Like the whole family ain't nothing but a bunch of ambulance chasers anyway.
Right.
Ooh, call me to sue this person, to sue that person, soon somebody fall. Call me, I can sue him. And I thought that was hilarious.
What do you think about Dave Chappelle?
That's what I like about Chappelle though. Because like if you say jokes about like racism, homosexual, people want to get mad. They want to feel offended. Not really saying you offended them, but they really don't want to touch that. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you have to do this. They can be funny or not, but it should put them on pins and needles. Now Chappelle, he can go like, if he just would have said one little word different, he would have offended everybody. But he took it to the max, but it was funny.
Right.
That's the whole thing, and it didn't sound like something he was making up. like me, I don't know too much about Bloomfield, you know, right? Now, if I just come off saying jokes about Bloomfield, and it's like, that is so not it. You know what I'm saying? This just sound like some BS. Like, man, come on, you gotta do better than that.
Well, it's gonna sound like truth to everybody else that's not from Bloomfield.
Yeah, but somebody that know about it is like you go in the suburbs, you hear people, it can be, it don't matter, black, white, mix, or whatever. They do jokes about Detroit, and it's like, that is so not it. Like, are you serious?
Right.
It's so not like that.
So I mean, I just like Chappelle about him.
It's just hilarious. I like his skits, his like Chappelle show. Like the top 3 shows I like watching is Boondocks. Oh my God.
I love Boondocks.
Oh my God, it's hilarious. Boondocks, the PJs, the Chappelle show. That's like the stuff on TV that's like, well, I can really put this on TV.
Right. I mean, it seems like they're really pushing the envelope. I mean, I guess that's been the history of the culture of television because, you know, the culture's always been a little restrictive and TV always takes it beyond what the culture really is. And then TV becomes culture. I mean, it's just so weird.
And it's kind of like once I was at a club and I was like, oh, I was like, TV is just getting so outrageous now. I'm like, nah, today RuPaul got his own talk show.
What?
And like, what you mean RuPaul got a talk show? I'm like, my bad, that's Wendy Williams.
Oh, crazy.
You went there. Like, it's funny though.
You know what? I just had a conversation with somebody. We debated whether Wendy Williams was a man or not. I mean, she looks suspect. So
I watched her show. It's crazy. Like one day she's eating Slim Jims, burning them with a lighter. She's unwrapping Slim Jims at a lighter. I'm just like,
agree with the fact that he sometimes
if you see this show, Wendy Williams, I still want to work with you. I'm just, he made me say this stuff. You know that, like that.
So there's nothing bad about that, but it's just like, oh, why you say that?
So what type of music do you do?
music
Music. Okay, the music. I like a lot of stuff. I'm gonna tell you, like, very no country, no rap at all. I'm just not that.
You don't like Kid Rock?
No, well, that's the thing about it though. He got a song, him, Eminem, and Trick called "Welcome to the Deep," and I love it. Kid Rock is on it. I'm not saying I hate Kid Rock. It's even Lip Bizkit and the Zivic got a track. I can't say the name of the track because it's cussing it. But even I'm not a fan of Fred Durst, Lip Bizkit, whatever. Nope, don't buy no. But him and the Zivic, his CD, Chocolate Favorite, Starfish, Hot Dog Water, something. That CD, there's a track on there that I actually like. It's not a rock beat, it's a rap beat. I mean, it is good. And then Maroon 5, I don't hardly ever listen to them. They got like a dance song that I actually like. So it's not like it's just certain music.
It's not like you like the artist, but you just don't like that genre.
Yeah, you just saying like people are, oh, you don't like right, that sound like bias against music. No, it's just certain stuff I don't. I'm not an Elvis fan. No, I'm not.
Right.
I'm not a Johnny Cash fan, but it's 2 songs of his that I say I listen to. Right. And that's because I don't listen to the music. Like I can hear it playing. I know who the artist is. I know I know who that is. Blah blah. I know. Hey, that's Green Day. Hey, that's Metallica. I can name the band we play. I just don't buy their music. Not that I don't like them as like a band. I mean, they do good. There's a lot of people out. Even some rap artists I can't stand. Like Gucci Man.
Gucci, that's my man.
He 2 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's slow.
Yeah,
he's slow.
It's like you already running 2 miles an hour. You already knew what I was saying.
Oh my goodness.
Gorilla Zone. I mean, I got a couple of tracks of his that I like, but overall, I'm just like, wow.
Well, I mean, we're running out of time right now. We got a couple seconds.